How jacked are you for Arch Manning, Rex? How jacked are you for this kid?
Okay, so can I tie that right into a story that I wanted
Rex,
to do here?
You are
you guys ready for a story?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, these guys,
day
just bringing it all together,
Yes.
They were saying that on the set of our shoot for our Super Bowl, what, you guys were in the tent?
We were in the tent just listening to Rex tell stories.
Right, so they loved,
He sat with us like we'd been friends since day one.
That's Rex Linn. Okay, go for it. The floor is yours.
Okay, so my girlfriend, Reba McEntire, had invited me to come to the CMAs this past year, but they also invited me to give the Best Song of the Year award with Reba. Now, I have two stories about this.
Yes.
I knew that Peyton Manning was going to co-host with Luke Bryan. My mission going to the CMAs was to go and subtly pick his brain to make sure Arch was going to sign with Texas, because we'd already lost to TCU and we lost to Alabama. We lost to Oklahoma State and lost to Alabama. And there were rumors on the internet that Arch might be looking elsewhere. So we get to the CMAs. Lo and behold, we go to Reba's dressing room, and right here, 7 feet from her door, Peyton Manning's dressing room. And the door was open. And I thought, do I dare? So we walked in Reba's dressing room, and I'm just kind of looking around. She goes, you want some coffee or something? I said, no, I got an issue here. and she goes, what's wrong? And I said, did you see who's next door? And she said, no. And I said, well, come here. And we opened up the door and we put it open. I said, look. And she said, Peyton Manning, that's great, Rex. And I said, but I got to get some information from him. And she said, do you know him? And I said, no, but this is huge. And so I walked around.
Crucial. This is crucially important.
So I walked around her dressing room for 10 minutes trying to think how I was going to get in there. And his door was open. I didn't even know if he was in there. So finally, Reba goes, why don't you just walk over and knock on the door? Or knock on it.
Great idea.
I walked over and I peeked around the corner.
Yes.
And there's Peyton. And he's reading the script.
Yes.
You know, he's studying because he's getting ready to MC, man.
And by the way, this is serious business for him. I've done events with him. Like this is not just him. Like he's literally in prep mode. He treats everything like it is the Super Bowl.
I might as well have walked in Robert De Niro's dressing room before he was doing Taxi, because he was looking. He was by himself. He's just like this, and he's looking. And I just picked, and I probably talked in a high voice. I probably went, "Excuse me, Peyton." I said, "Hey, Peyton," and he looked up. He didn't even look up like. And I love him. He's a great guy.
Of course.
But he didn't look up like, "Hey, come on in." He looked at me like Reagan from The Exorcist. I mean, he didn't. And I said, "Hey, I'm Rex Linn. I'm right next door with Reba, and I actually met you on the University of Texas sideline one day." And he goes, "Hey, Rex, come on in." And so I came in, and I'm thinking, I wonder how I bring up Arch, because you can't ask him about recruiting.
You got to warm him up, but you also probably got the sense that he didn't have much time here.
He didn't.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, so I had to figure out how to navigate that. Eventually, I just cut to the chase, and I said, boy, I tell you, we are so excited about Arch. And he literally did this. and all of a sudden, my heart rate went up, my mouth got dry, and I was I wish I'd have never brought this up now. And I said, now I'm not asking, and I just dug myself in the ground. I went, now I'm not asking for any information. I'm just saying as a fan, I'm a big fan of Arch's, and we're sure hoping he goes to Texas. And he looked at me and smiled, and he goes, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're okay. I mean, I don't know. He said, these guys are 18 years old. They've changed. They don't even know where they're going to go eat a cheeseburger. I mean, it was that kind of thing. Wow. And then I thought, okay, eject. But right before I psychologically ejected, he goes, hey, is Reba? So he immediately cut off, because he wanted to meet Reba.
There you go.
Yeah, and he goes, is Reba next door? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, is she busy, or is she got? I guess she is probably. And I said, no. You want to meet her? And he said, yeah. And I'm thinking, my conversation about football and Arch Manning is over right now. I said, well, come on. He goes, yeah, well, is it the second they met? He wanted to know about Loretta Lynn. He had questions about, and he and Reba just hit it off. And we actually have a picture right there. So see, right next to the left of Peyton is his room, and there's Reba's. That's how close we were.
Wow. So you didn't say, well, I can get Reba to commit to a meeting with you.
If you can get me on the phone with Art, yeah.
Because I just need to close this deal here.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
And by the way, like we had Steve Sarkisian, the coach, on during the season, and we were told in advance you cannot ask him about Arch questions because December is when he will have to physically sign his letter.
Right.
And even the night before the signing day, there was rumors red hot that there was a big name player that was going to switch schools at the last second.
I thought it was him.
And we're sending texts to each other.
I was sure it was him.
You know, and he's just sending it nonstop about it.
Yeah.
And he just, we were freaking out, but
thank God.
he's coming.
Yeah.
He's signed.
Yeah, he is. I hope
coming.
It works out.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.